Gotta work on my projection.
O power vast, eternal true, your sacred balance we renew. So mote it be the vow is sworn, 7 crystal signets, pure reborn. If you feel like you have to mute your mic in practice, by all means, do it now before we start.
Me.
Does the incantation get ruined if you guys hear children's voices in the background?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Whatever they say. Goes right into it.
Just to let you know, Dove has holiday body wash, peppermint bark, and sugar cookie.
Okay, let us begin the session. Everyone who has not connected, please connect. I'm going to load our... Can somebody stream their Fantasy Grounds, please?
Yeah, I can when I like it.
I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the artifact music is so good.
It's just like standby music.
I know. Still hype.
Okay, Depala, so you're doing second half, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do first half, you do second half. Okay.
Yep.
So, I know I am the endlessly nitpicky critical person, but does it have to say crystal signets in the last line? Specifically.
That is the name, isn't it?
So they'll be called.
Calling them, yes.
I know that, but does it have to specify that name in the incantation?
Usually, yes, because like that's kind of gives the items the power, doesn't it?
Oh god, I love this.
I don't know.
Am I off on that? Like I feel like usually spells like have kind of
I get
a
what
word
he's
of power.
trying to
I'm
say.
trying to figure out how to cut down the syllable count in that last line because it doesn't flow with the rest of the verse.
Then why don't we do 7 signets, pure, reborn?
Yeah, you could either do 7 signets pure reborn or these crystal signets pure reborn. And in either of those would flow better than the current line.
I guess it does kind of already explicitly say that there's going to be 7 rings.
So I like the idea of it saying these because it's like previous, you're kind of describing them, and then the last line is like present tense, they're here. It's these things now.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Alright. What do you think, resident former witch?
I mean, I think it's all depending on how you say it. Because in other incantations, you can kind of put that as a different thing. So you could say like, O power vast, eternal true, your sacred balance we renew. So mote it be, the vow is sworn, 7 crystal signets, pure, reborn.
Yeah, that's how I heard it in my head.
It still works.
That flows. Yeah, that flows.
Unless you're reading it quickly, like that's I think when you you're gonna notice the syllable count, but
All right. Radiant Convocation Chamber. This is the setting. After the Warriors of Light, notably Zavara and Tsukiyomi, have said farewell to Spiritus' soul, Torban will usher in all of the other warriors waiting outside the chamber so that the rings can finally be forged. In the center of the room, in the massive table, on the massive table rather, Torban will have placed a few bits of machinery. Most notably, a crystal inhibitor, basically a large crystal. It doesn't resemble the Fabula Nova Crystals. The crystal itself is not refined in any way. It's just a crystal seemingly mined from the earth in Crystalis, fashioned and shaved at the top so that the top is a flat surface. Sitting on it is a mold made of reinforced Mako steel. Three distinct sockets above the mold, where the energy from the crystal is being funneled via what you see as exhausts, basically tubes, just kind of hover overhead with a latch that allows the funnel to open and to pour into the mold. As the Warriors of Light file in slowly, he's kind of finicking over it, hovering, switching from one side of the table to the other. Crystal is in the dead center of the table, and it is the most accessible thing, everything else being held up by pulleys and machina machinery. As you enter into the room, Torbad will just kind of count the Warriors of Light to himself, then turn back to his machinery, and then he will walk over and very politely, he'll tap Keros, and he'll tap Blair on the shoulder.
Yes.
Blair will turn and nod.
Brother and sister, am I correct?
Yes.
Not related, technically, but our brother and sister.
My dear friend, blood relation does not matter. I have many brothers and sisters from the Imperial War, and I can assure you that I was born an only child.
And we thank you for your service.
I'm glad you caught that. I shall need a lot of strength.
I will lend you what I can. My brother is much stronger than I.
At least you admit it.
Once the moldings are cast, once you have channeled enough energy within my resonating crystal in order to turn the Lunarian steel into a metal, or into a liquid, I should say. Once we extract it from the mold, there will only be a limited amount of time while it is still hot to shape it. I need those of you who are based in strength and who have skill as blacksmiths to aid me in forming the rings as they are being created while they are still hot. It's a very simple task. Don't worry, I will guide you. All you have to do is ooga booga hit things.
Blair will look at Torbad and at her brother, and she'll say, I do not have the skill of blacksmith. That's why he made this. But I will ooga booga hit things for you.
I'll hit them
That's the
well.
spirit.
I'll hit them well because I'm actually good at it.
That said, blacksmithing is a base skill, so technically you do have it.
Technically, I did not know.
Give yourself blacksmith.
Trelas will,
And scale it off
will,
of your strength.
Trelas will hear Ooga Booga hit things, and I was like, huh? What?
Ah,
Hitting me?
Trevas, if you would come over here, please.
Mummy
Show
will
us.
nudge Nibble. Hey.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Can I
You'll
use
space Keros, Blair, and Trevos around the table evenly. giving them time so he can toss each an individual ring freshly forged to them, and then run around the room directing them as to what to do while the rings are cooling.
I will not assign any specific element to any of you. I have 7 designs, 7 castings. I believe they are rather perfect. You can look them over if you wish, but alas, there is not much time. Would anyone like to look over my designs?
I'll look them
Blair,
over.
Blair will raise her hand.
Give me fire.
He just said he's gonna throw it in no particular order, brother.
I still want to look at it. If I'm gonna get a ring, I want to see it.
So presumptuous that he would get fire.
I mean,
He is the
fire.
obvious choice.
Don't feel his ego.
Unless there is a child born on the other side of the world that encompasses the flame more than him. That would be quite a shame indeed.
The incantation will decide the fates.
True. And the rings, their directive will decide who their bearer is based on the incantation uttered. So, unless the incantation says fire ring, choose someone who is fire-based. That is not what will occur. The fire ring will choose based on who most encompasses the element of the flame. I'm assuming passionate, angry, fiery. Blair, help me.
Blair will just look at Torvet like, huh? As she's looking over the ring that he handed her.
He'll produce blueprints from inside his coat and hand them to Zavara so Zavara can observe them.
Did he hand us the rings? Are we able to look at them, or?
We are looking
No,
at the
they're not.
schematics.
We are looking at schematics. The rings have not been forged yet. We are getting to that here in a
Would
moment.
we be able to physique the rings instead of blacksmithing?
Of course.
Oh, okay, good. That's much better.
Are we all gonna physique this instead?
No, I'm just.
I might be helpful in this situation then.
My blacksmithing is, it's not proficient, so
So
it is.
15.
So it's only 23. So if I can physique
Oh.
it, it is
Yeah.
much better.
Did
Or
I
if
hear
I had-
you say there was another here that was strong? Nibble?
Oh yeah.
Good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you. Been a while.
He'll walk over and he'll very, very politely pick Nibble up. And then he'll place Nibble on the table, spaced evenly away from Karos, Blair, and Trevos. So now they're essentially, because there's 4 of them, there's one on each corner of the, well, not corner, technically it's a circular table, but you know what I mean. Spaced out evenly
Cardinal
on 4 cardinal directions, thank you, of the table. And then as he puts Nibble down, he'll go over, he'll move Karos over to the left a little bit, Blair over to the left a little bit, you know, obviously being very, very,
OCD. Particular.
yeah, but that's
type
not
A.
the word. Particular about the space.
Orpheus,
Ridiculous! That's the word. Sorry?
Orpheus will speak up, say, I can be very strong if you need another hand, Torvad.
Strong?
If I were to put my physique skills on a scale of 1 to 100, it would be 65.
God.
That is quite high indeed.
That's higher than
some of
me.
these others.
Mine's only 53. What the
So let me get this straight. You just hit it really fast?
Vibrations make it so it's.
He'll rummage around in a nearby bag and produce a goldsmithing hammer with a little chisel and hand it to you.
All the intricate
I'll take it.
details can be done by someone with Mach speed. Very well. Is anyone else helpful? Keep in mind that the use of magic is strictly forbidden. So those of you who would be able to help only by using your magic, no thank you. We do not want the elemental purity of the rings to be disrupted in any way, shape, or form while this is occurring. Zavara, have you looked over the plans?
So now that I have access to stratagem, I can roll both if you'd like me to roll both, but I want to see if I can kind of blend my foresight and stratagem together. Since Zavar is not very like logical, but he does have a very good feel for what could potentially like work and not work.
Mm-hmm.
And see if he recognizes anything that may be off about the designs.
Go ahead.
Would you like foresight or stratagem?
In order to recognize something that would be off would be stratagem.
Okay. In that case, I am making the roll right.
Do we have all the crystals present?
Do we? That is a good question.
He'll rummage around in the same bag, produce the crystal of light and the crystal of darkness, and place them on the table.
I do not see Amrid anywhere here.
Or Jackal.
Amrid has the water crystal now.
Balthier has the wind crystal.
Jekyll should be just outside, probably perusing the ruins to try and find some sacred artifact.
But Jekyll doesn't have the water crystal.
I assume the warriors would be smart enough to contact the parties that are required and to have done this beforehand, correct?
I
definitely
warned
did.
them in the NPC comms, but I didn't ask them to come here.
Okay, so we'll retcon that you did speak to them. Okay. Which are the NPCs that have which crystals? Just so I know that there won't be any resistance, because there might be some.
Balthier wind.
And Amrid water.
Balthier, knowing that the crystal of wind is now corrupted, would be upset, but would give up the crystal in order to save it, reminding you that you owe him a power source.
Get him a really buff hamster to just run on a wheel.
If it is a power source he seeks, I think I can aid him. I simply need to give him one of my rift generators that I use for my suits. That should
Would you be
sufficiently
willing to
power
give
his
it
ship.
To him?
Pardon me?
Would you be willing to give it to him?
In order for the world not to end and me not to lose my cushy new cabin in the woods, yes, I would give it to him.
Okay.
Consider it a gift from the Shinra Electric Power Company for all the trouble the previous president has made for the Warriors of Light. This is not an admission of guilt.
Have you considered renaming the company at this point? Just to stamp out the name.
Actually, no. All of his crimes have been made quite public. I wanted to shame him and to completely destroy his credibility so that he could never, ever seize the company from me again.
Having the name still be Shinra would be a pretty big slap in the face too, no?
Oh yes, the Shinra Electric Power Company has a reputation, even if the founder is completely incompetent. We are keeping the name. The name is mine. Alright, in that case, we have Balthier's crystal here.
And he'll put the wind crystal on the table. Who else?
I'll pull up fire.
Fire. Okay, so we have fire. Fire just kind of clinks onto the table as Karos places it there, so that's 4.
I pull out earth.
Nibble has earth?
Yeah, he's at Earth.
Yep.
Yeah, we couldn't get it back from him because, long
Jesus
time no
Christ.
see.
He just goes AWOL.
Just casually pulls out earth and clinks it on the table. 5 crystals.
Amrit is the last one, water.
Yeah.
All right, seeing the corruption in the crystal, Amarid would be pissed off. He's already spoken to the Warriors of Light about the corruption, which means it wouldn't be such a stretch, especially considering it was given to him by Jekyll. That Jekyll would ask for it back in order to accomplish this ring task, even though Amarid would grumble and be like, they're gonna fuck it up. Jekyll would be like, I'll be there. And then Amarid would say, that doesn't make me feel better, Jekyll. All right. So he'll grab the crystal, which means Jekyll will enter into the room. As he enters into the room, his pockets will chink and clang, as if he's filled his pockets with things that he's found all over the Lunarian temple. And then he'll just place the crystal on the table, crystal of water? Crystal of water.
Yes.
As he places it on the table, he'll go to walk away, and his hand will just grab the crystal and bring it with him. He'll then turn around and just kind of laugh and shrug and then put the crystal back on the table. And then his hand will try to go for it again, and he'll grab it with his other hand and just kind of pull it back.
Troas will bow and say, "My liege, you are so funny. Your humor is way beyond us mortals."
Jekyll will look at Troas and just kind of laugh nervously. Yes, humor. And he'll just walk away. As he walks away, Torbad will slowly just watch him walk away with barely feigned concern in his eyes.
All right, that is 6 crystals. Do we have a 7th?
We have fragments.
May I see the fragments?
Orpheus will reach into his coat and produce the 3 fragments and put them on the table.
Here's how I believe this will work.
As Jekyll enters the room, he'll just kind of sit in the back and eye all the crystals on the table with watery, glistening eyes. May I suggest, instead of 7 rings, 1 ring. 1 to encompass all the crystals. A single ring to rule them all.
And what would you call such a ring, Master Jekyll?
I would call it the precious ring.
Would it be your precious ring?
Torbad will look at Jekyll as he describes this and then just go,
Okay.
and then turn his attention away.
That's exactly what he would do. Well played, stuff.
He'll shrug as Torbad brushes him off and go, "It was worth a shot."
I feel like Karis is just pulling out duct tape and he's like slowly peeling it open.
Someone watch him.
And then he'll just kind of utter something, Jekyll, to himself as everyone keeps preparing. He'll be like, "But they were all deceived." For an 8th ring was forged.
Oh, while they're forging and incanting, Jekyll's just like wiggling his fingers behind his back, making sure an 8th ring is forged with little pieces of all the 7.
Tsukiyomi watches on as everything happens quietly. She's in the corner of the room, just sitting and watching. Some of you will look over and notice her. She's not seeing what's happening in the room. She's just kind of looking inward. You know how someone let their eyes, they look like there's something that they're contemplating and mulling over in their mind. That's all that you see as you look over. And then at some point while the preparations are ongoing, you'll see just kind of tendrils, emerald tendrils appear as another primordial appears behind her and just kind of walks up behind her and hugs her.
Very well. Now, the mistress, Tsukiyomi, can correct me if I am wrong. Please interrupt me at any time if I am making any mistakes, as my goal is not to insult your magic. The incantation must be uttered. Well, technically this part isn't Lunarian magic, but you'll see what I mean when I continue. We will be using Lunarian magic to melt the Lunarian steel. It is the only thing powerful enough to do so. I will be inscribing sigils into the crystal you see before you, the resonating crystal. I will require power in order to heat the metal to a temperature that will allow the metal to melt. Considering this is Lunarian steel, which is quite easily the most fascinating material I have ever seen forged, I will require the runes given to me by the Lady Tsukiyomi. I wish for the incantation to be uttered all at once. That is why I want the fragments of the cosmic crystal here, because Though we cannot forge the ring in its entirety, we can prepare the enchantment, and we can prepare the actual ring, the physical Lunarian steel ring that will house the cosmic crystal once you have sufficiently damaged you-know-whose faith tree. I will show you how to begin the forging on site. That way, once you have damaged his faith tree enough and you believe that the ring will be able to forge itself, you can begin the process. Whatever you do not allow the Wraith to get his hands on the ring once it is being forged, once the enchantment is attempting to bind to the ring itself. He could easily alter the enchantment and create something much, much more sinister than what you are aiming to create here today, Warriors of Light. I know a lot of you are Unga Bunga strength jobs, but has everyone understood what I just said?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Very well.
Touchy.
Once we are done, the crystals will become husks and nothing more. Chances are the curse placed upon them will just turn them to dust. Those crystals... excuse me.
Let's
Those
see.
crystals... Thank you. Those crystals that are not damaged will not crumble to dust. You can still use their vessels for something. They'll be akin to crystal prisms. Keep them. If they become useful at some point, feel free to use them. I think that would be the light crystal, since it was completely repaired using the tears. I think that's it. Am I mistaken? Yes, just the light crystal will remain. Or at least the husk of the light crystal.
Will the remaining tears be used in this process?
No. You'll use the tears at the moment that you attempt to enchant the cosmic crystal. That should help keep it pure, keep the process pure, and fight off any influence that Zodiark might try to project onto the process. It is Lunarian steel. He will sense it, even though the magic you are using is Acurian in nature. Speaking of which, Jekyll, if you would be so kind.
Jekyll still uttering sentences, this time in a language you barely understand. It's very dark speech, almost black speech. Under his breath, he'll just kind of shake it off, and then he'll summon Gerun, who will appear above the apparatus set up by Torbat and hover in the center of the room.
So did we all hear him like muttering a language we don't understand? Is that what you just said?
Yes. It's okay, he's not actually doing anything. I'm just making Lord of the Rings references for fun. Okay.
Just do I need to stab? Stab time. So Travas, not very intelligent, but has spoken with Rasu and learned about the imbalance of things and how elements needs a balance, and how Cosmic currently doesn't have balance. And he will turn to Torbat and Tsukuyomi, and he will ask, what of the elements of Yakus represents? Are we being short-sighted by creating 7? What was supposed to balance Cosmic?
Torbat will halt in his tracks for a moment and think.
Sorry, I just thought of it, guys. My bad. I'm not trying to throw wrenches.
He'll turn his attention to Tsukuyomi and to Wisp.
Do the Lunarians have something to add?
Tsukuyomi will sigh, as if it's taking her a lot of strength to just kind of be part of this. Xandros was created initially because we believed that To have a primordial represent the space between all things was a concept too vast to control. There are some primordial concepts that can be housed within a single faith tree without worrying about the concept becoming overtly powerful or potent. Barrick was a good example of this. You know not whether it was his soul that was strong enough to contain the concept chosen for him, or if the concept itself houses the balance that is required. I cannot tell you if neutral power counteracts the cosmos. Our experiment failed. Something during the ascension process went wrong with Erebus. To this day, I do not know what it was. There was no way for Xandros to exert his influence to counterbalance the cosmos. It overwhelmed us all. If you believe that a ring must be created that represents neutral energy, non-elemental, as it were, then by all means attempt to do so. The concept worked initially. When Xandros ascended, he represented power in its purity, and he was stable. The choice is yours, warriors. That is the extent of Lunarian knowledge on the subject.
My apologies for making you relive that. I just wanted to make sure.
Conceptually, I think it matches evolution in a sense. Power blooms in adversity. So if there is nothing for it to be tested by, then it will likely stagnate and stay where it is.
And what do the Acuria say on the subject?
Gayrune's eyes will flicker for a moment.
A crystal protecting the integrity of non-elemental energy was never fabricated by the Aguria. The energy lends itself to a volatility, a lens. The energy that it passes can align to whatever surrounds the environment most. Theoretically, because the energy aligns itself to the one wielding the power, it is rare that such an energy would require purity, as it so easily aligns to the latent energy around it. If a god of non-elemental energy arose, one would simply need to throw a fireball to defeat him. This god would align to fire if the mist surrounding it became dense enough. And so the ring of fire would protect the elements and destroy the tyrant. We Acuria are not all-knowing, however. If you wish to protect non-elemental magic, fleeting as it is, an enchantment can be created. The choice is yours, warriors.
As you look over the blueprints, you find a few things that could potentially go wrong and point them out to Torbad. As you point them out to him, Zavara, he gets visibly irritated. And as you point them out to him, and he walks away, snatching his blueprints from you and putting them back in his coat, you'll see him just kind of produce a small little notebook and write a few things down. I will buffer the first 2 critical failures during this session because of Easter.
Thank you.
Now that Gidrun's out, can I approach and say, what we are about to undergo is obviously, well, we have to make sure it goes right, so could I have you look over what we plan on incanting?
Share your incantations with the Acuria. Do not utter them aloud.
And we'll produce a piece of paper with all of it written down.
An incantation uttered aloud will lose its potency if it is not the first time the words are uttered within the cosmos.
Understood.
Such is the power of the elements. Our magic stems from nature itself, which is why the enchantments were created to protect the elements. The incantations that you utter through your books, the power is drawn from nature, from the world around us. It is the purest, most natural magic. It is the most fragile and the most powerful. We Acuria are honored that you warriors would use such magic to create your trinkets.
Would it be beneficial to have Apollo look over the incantation? Because he's the god of, poetry?
Is he?
I think it's overkill at this point. If the Acuria look it over, it should be enough. There's nothing Apollo would be able to detect that the Acuria could not detect.
He writes shitty poems and haikus.
That's
That's
homophobic.
literally what they say in Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson, yeah. He just made terrible poems all the time.
From crystals. Go ahead, Easter. I'm gonna look it over as the Acuria if you want to say something.
While I'm not certain the element itself needs protected, Zavar will pull Ophiuchus' scale out of his pocket and he'll put it on the table. If we made a ring with this power, would it help the relevant god maintain stability? Should we... Or should he be unbalanced at present?
The very fact that he is unbalanced is the only reason we will be able to successfully create an enchantment. Otherwise, his presence would make it impossible to forge the enchantment, as you have seen with Eden, and as you have seen with Zodiac.
I think we would weaken him further if we create one right now.
Creating such a ring would remove what little power he has left if he continues to fight the corruption.
Yeah, he'll go full Cosmos.
In that case,
However,
let's not do that.
an enchantment forged in incantation with a selfish motive in mind will be weaker. If you forge the ring of non-elemental magic simply to aid you in this fight against Zodiac, you will find its power fickle and fleeting, and the cost much higher.
It's not like we even have a crystal of non-elemental energy in this, so where would that
Nope.
A crystal is not required. Only the enchantment and enough metal to create a vessel. This Lunarian steel is perfected. Same as our crystals.
Kravas will speak up. I don't think we should do that, Fiakus in there, and weaken him any further. I think we can move forward with the 7 rings we have right now.
They were all deceived.
My liege, your humor is showing again.
I would agree with Trepas.
Blair's going to rest her spear where she's standing.
Mm-hmm. On the table. That's fine.
Yeah, so she can be in that exact spot, so he doesn't have to be too meticulous about her being back in it. And she'll go over to Corbad, and she'll just kind of like look at the schematics that he has in her hands, or his hands, and like she'll just kind of try and briefly read it, but just gives up because it's too much calculation.
Too complicated.
Yeah. And she'll just ask Torbad, she'll say, when I was mulling over the idea of finding another receptacle for the crystal's powers, I was thinking of infusing some of the elements that they represent into the metal. Do we need to do something like that? Do we need to have a part of earth in the earth one, some fire in the fire, water in the water, to just infuse it to make it stronger, to give it that specific identity?
Instead of Torbad is about to answer when you hear Gaerun respond to your question, Blair.
Okay.
The element. That's not Gaerun's voice.
Tsukiyomi.
How dare you? Sorry. The elements are encompassed within the incantation. It is not required if you are using Okurian magic. Elemental magic.
Blair will nod to Gaerun and then go back to her spot.
True though you may be, Master Akuria, I disagree. Because we are using Lunarian steel and Lunarian sigils in order to keep the vessel pure and intact, if I am not mistaken, Lady Tsukiyomi, you required the element itself when you were creating your faith trees, did you not?
Tsukiyomi will nod.
Since we are hybridizing the two, I believe we would be remiss not to follow everything to the letter.
Gaerun will hover quietly for a moment.
The Akuria concur. Make certain you produce your elements. You may create an anchor to your rings. Strengthen the magic, the enchantment.
Do
you guys have the elements?
I've got earth.
I do. I have fire.
Jekyll can produce water.
I
Yes,
can
I
produce,
can! I can also make an A3. Okay, just the water.
I can produce darkness. I am sure
Night.
Zavara can do light.
Or nibble.
Nourishing
Yep.
wind.
Excalibur can produce light, and so can Zavara. It's up to them. Actually, Zavara's staff, too, can produce light.
Blair will have her spear just crackle with lightning.
That makes wind.
Is that all of them?
You have everything, right?
Light, dark,
Light.
water, fire, earth. Yes, we have all six.
We have everything. Cosmic.
Orpheus.
Well, it's can we do the cosmic one? I guess. Well, we're on the
It's
moon.
needed-
Can't we just go get some moon dust?
Some moon dust?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You guys are on the moon. There's literally moon dust everywhere. Yep, that would work.
Kravas will
Cosmic
put his-
stardust. Does anyone have any celestial powder?
I do.
I do. We all
Yeah,
do, I
so
think.
do I.
Then I think about 10 celestial powder would make this pretty strong. So, the connection, the anchor.
Here, let's make it 20.
Okay. He's like, let's make it 20 just to be safe.
I don't know where to put my fucking.
It seems we have everything we need. Let us begin, shall we? If everyone is ready.
Actually,
How do
we
you
go.
want us to infuse? I'm assuming while it's being built.
The first step, which we will do now, is to superheat the metal. I require the medallions. I believe you gave me 3. That should be enough to forge the 7 rings.
Yes.
I will delete the anima medallion from my inventory.
That is 1.
He'll take the anima medallion and place it in the receptacle up top, where the heat will go to try to melt the metal.
I've already produced the Death's Medallion.
He'll take the Death's medallion out of his coat that Orpheus gave him, place it in the second receptacle.
And I have given you the medallion of duality.
He'll produce the medallion of duality and put it in the receptacle.
All right. Technically, this should be enough to forge 7 vessels with a little bit left over. Does anyone have any extra Lunarian steel in case something goes wrong?
Blair will shake her head.
I don't think I have anything.
Very well then. Let's not fuck up.
Orpheus, before we get started, what Torbad said about this Lunarian steel being heated, potentially attracting an unwanted visitor, has me worried. If you don't mind saying my piece, I will make sure that these moments are not interrupted.
Which visitor do you speak of?
Not the manta ray.
If it is my sister's presence that you are afraid of, I have spoken to the primordials.
I think he might be referring to the other one, Tsukuyomi. I don't know. Are we not allowed to say his name? Zamara?
Someone better say his name.
The Wraith.
I-
That's not
I
his
see.
name.
Jesus, guys, just say it.
yeah, I was
Like
just looking
Vol-
at Zamara
It's
like,
like
I,
Voldemort in here.
I apologize, but I thought I remembered Torbad saying that Lunarian steel being forged may attract him in some way.
It may. He has. Yes. The suggestion is not crazy, and you think you can keep it away. How?
I do not know. But if you know he is there at least, I can warn you in some way.
Very well. We will rely on your expertise as an exorcist, should we be haunted by ghosts. I assume the primordials will stand by to aid should it come to that.
Wisp and Tsukuyomi will nod.
Blair will look at Torbad and say, on this topic of unexpected visitors, do you know where our sniper friend is? Are they far enough away from here?
Tsukuyomi will turn her attention to Blair.
Fear not. Regardless of his unique talents, this is my celestial body. If he had vision of us, I would know.
Blair will bow and will say, I meant no disrespect, Tsukuyomi.
There was none taken. We shall be safe here, especially with the priest shielding us.
And I can hear that fuck from a mile away.
Nibble's ears twitch violently. If he shows up here, he's got a prayer. Okay.
Nobody knows exactly what his footsteps sound like.
That's so true, though. Let's roll a sense hearing from Nibble with advantage.
Oh, yeah. Advantage.
Okay. Nibble's ears will twitch as he keeps an ear out for intruders. All right.
Did Gabriel have anything to say about the...
Listen to my instructions as I say them, and do not dally. Do not improvise.
He'll point to every single person at the table, and then he'll point at Karos and just kind of hold his finger longer on Karos.
What? Karos will raise his hand.
Karos is like, why me?
Blair will look from Karos.
Karos will raise his hand really high. I just want to make.
Will turn his attention to Trevos.
Yes.
I'm just making sure everybody understand who's covering the priest's lines because I don't want interruption in the middle of it. Are we clear? Can we?
I will cover the priest's lines.
Thank you. It's great. We are joking and having great time. It just let's not f up the incantation.
Whose idea was it to have everyone incanted?
He would just kind of raise his hand.
That makes
Our
sense.
friendship.
Very well. Let us begin. For the record, in the fires of creation, I forge here with my companions, the Warriors of Light, 7 rings. In these 7 rings, we will choose eternal guardians of the elements. The rings will ever seek champions worthy of their sacred charge. To those chosen, a destiny unfolds, a timeless vow to protect the balance within the world. A call that all of us have known all too well. By my decree as a warrior of light, I bid the Crystal Wardens rise this day. Not warriors of light, as spoken by Etro, though through her wisdom and the souls of those fallen, we stand here today, able to ensure our future. I believe the word warden is better suited for a protector of the innocent. We are bound by honor here, and a destiny to preserve the harmony of existence and the freedom of those who cannot fight for themselves. Begin channeling into the Crystal Warriors.
He'll etch a seal into his arm. His arm will transform in Machina fashion into like a cannon-looking thing. And as he etches the symbol for flame, you'll see a huge stream of white flame just kind of emit from the cannon and just fire into the crystal. As the energy just kind of fires into the crystal will begin to glow, but very, very faintly.
Blair, your energy next.
Blair will take the Storm Whisker and point it towards where Torbad's doing the thingy, the ring.
Arcana. Is that scaling off your strength?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, bolt of lightning and a stream of lightning will just kind of emit from the whisker and just channel into the stone, causing it to glow slightly brighter.
And now the brother, Karos.
Okay, I'll take the Ember Light Cleaver and channel Pyromancy into the crystal.
Okay, are you channeling it through Apollo?
Would it be more tainted if I did that?
Why would it be tainted? Oh, because he represents light as well? No.
Then yes.
As long as you channel just Pyromancy, then no.
Yeah, I'll channel through him. Why not?
Okay, in that case, I'll let you roll advantage on your roll since you're channeling through Apollo and using your axe.
Okay.
two focusing lenses is the reason he's getting advantage, guys. All right, a stream of fire will shoot forth and go into the resonating crystal. Again, it becomes brighter.
Nibble next.
Nibble pulls out Excalibur, aims it towards the crystal, and then just chants to himself for Shemzai to give him strength. And that would be what? Sanctomancy?
Channeling Excalibur, and you're speaking of the a friend that has fallen, huh? All right, roll advantage, Sanctomancy. A beam of pure light just kind of emerges from Excalibur and channels straight into the resonating crystal, causing it to become much, much brighter.
Now we're cooking with fire or light. Orpheus, let's go.
Sorry. This is for the elements, right?
It is the heat of metal. If you cannot... Let me calculate real quick.
As the energy just kind of channels into the crystal, you'll see him like pull up something on his arm and push a few buttons.
82%. We need more fire if you're going to melt these medallions.
Just a question, stuff out of character. The fire that I produce from something, because I can produce fire. It needs to be pure. So if I use anything that has a chance of being tainted, it wouldn't work. Is that it?
It would work less.
Okay, I have the jack-o'-lantern that deals 500 fire damage. Can I use that?
Lol. Sure, yeah. Sure, consume one.
Alright. Orpheus will pull out the jack-o'-lantern and a beam of flame will emit from it, going straight to the crystal.
Curia, we thank you for your sacrifice and bid you farewell. I pray you will offer us your guidance for the little time you will have left. What we do today would not be possible without you, and without the others who have fallen to bring us here. In all the time we have been warriors of light ever since we woke up within that crystal chamber. Every decision, every sacrifice has led us here.
He'll extend his other arm, not the one that turned into a cannon, and you'll see a sigil on his palm begin to glow, and the Acuria will all spawn above the table, and energy will flow from them into his arm, and will intensify the beam that he is channeling into the crystal. When he does that, he'll then turn to the primordials and just kind of nod to them quietly, and they'll nod back and shut their eyes, and a second sigil will appear on his arm and will intensify the beam that he is firing into the resonating crystal. As he does that, the resonating crystal will erupt in a brilliant wash of pure light. It'll fill the room, making it incredibly bright, making it almost impossible for those of you to kind of look on the crystal directly. He'll then run over to one side of the table, pushing on one of his levers and causing the crystal to just kind of fluctuate for a moment before energy is shot upward towards the apparatus holding the medallions. And the medallions, as the apparatus becomes white with energy and heat, the apparatus will begin to tremble violently above the table, and the medallions will slowly melt, turning into this bright silvery liquid metal. As this silvery metal becomes completely liquefied, he'll pull on another lever, opening a hatch, and causing the metal to just kind of drip down into a mold. The metal takes forever it kind of flows thickly, not like it's actually like pure liquid, but like it's very, very, it's having trouble staying in a malleable state as it just kind of flows downward into the mold. And it seemingly takes forever, as those of you who are still channeling into the crystal to keep up the energy required to keep the metal in a liquid state, you'll feel the strain as you continue to channel your power into it. And after what seems like an eternity, the metal will completely finish flowing into the molds, and you'll see Torbad stop channeling his magic, and then pull on the third and final lever that will cause the resonating crystal to shatter and a pulse to go into the mold. As soon as that happens, Torbad will undo the mold as fast as he can, and out will clang onto the table 7 poorly shaped, misshapen, white-hot rings. As they kind of cling and clang onto the table, Torbad will grab a few of them using tongs that he produces inside one of his bags. As he grabs them with the tongs, you'll see Lunarian sigils just kind of light up on the tongs as he picks them up one at a time and places a crystal in front of the 5 people that are standing around. Or not a crystal, sorry, a ring in front of the 5 people that are standing around waiting. As he does so, he will tell you exactly what to do, and he will tell you to use your strength and to take the tools he gives you, tongs and hammers, and forge the crystals into the, I keep saying crystals, the rings into the shape they need to be in order to encompass their element. As he does this, that's when you guys will need to channel the elements into the still malleable Lunarian steel rings. Okay? So first, we will do the elements.
Okay.
Starting with fire.
Okay. I'll channel through my axe and I'll use Apollo again.
All right, give me a pyromancy roll. All right, a pyromancy roll is successful as you channel fire into the fire ring that Torbad has placed in front of you. As you channel flame into it, Torbad will direct you and tell you exactly what to do in order to perfect it, in order to remove the impurities and to forge it into a vessel that is completely symmetrical on all sides, that does not have any, pieces of metal sticking out. He'll show you how to shave down the metal so that it is completely smooth and that it is perfected. All right? As he shows you all of this, roll a blacksmithing check to finish the crafting of the flame ring.
Okay. I'll draw on my, countless centuries of blacksmithing experience to kind of, do this perfectly.
Okay. That's it?
Do you want smithing or do you want physique?
Oh, that's up to you.
Let's do physique.
I love it.
This is all done simultaneously, meticulously, and paying attention to every detail. Sweat just kind of rolling down his brow, his eyes focused as Torbad is right next to him and just kind of smacks him on the back of the head because he does something wrong. And then he tells him to just kind of hold it still as he brings out a buffering machine, and you guys hear as Torbad just kind of helps you and just kind of perfects the vessel. No incantation on it yet. And as you perfect the vessel, you'll notice that Torbad's design has a mounting teeth on the ring. A mounting socket. But there's no gem inside. It's just completely void of a gem. Then, once he's done, he'll move on to the next person. Water! Who here has water?
Jekyll.
It's Jekyll. So, he'll run over to Jekyll, who's still kind of muttering to himself, and drag him over to the still white-hot water ring, and then he'll tell him what to do. As he tells him what to do, you'll see Jekyll just kind of snap out of it, and his eyes will start to glow blue as he channels from Bismarck, and you guys see a ring of water just kind of descend onto the ring. and be absorbed by the Lunarian steel. Lol. Following Torbad's instructions to the letter and not doing anything that can be misconstrued as ill intent, Jekyll will infuse the power of water into the ring as Torbad grabs a goldsmithing hammer and finishes the ring himself.
Wow.
Substituting blacksmithing for engineering,
Hell yeah.
as is one of Torbad's passives. He successfully forges, again, the ring. I keep wanting to say crystal. I'm going to smack myself. A ring of water, again, with a mounting socket in it. And he just kind of leaves it there next to the fire crystal. The metal's still a bright, silvery, white, hot color as he moves on to the next element, earth.
That'll be Lumi. Lumi will step up and draw upon both his armor and his bow and channel forth geomancy.
As you do that, once again, Torbad will smith the ring. As you infuse it with earth, he will smith the Lunarian sigils needed on the ring, as he did all the others, buffer it, remove any imperfections to make the vessel perfectly symmetrical and perfectly without flaws. Go ahead, Lumi. Give us some earth. Perfect.
I know he's not.
All right. Once again, Torbad successfully crafts the earthen ring and leaves it among the others, moving to Wind. As he moves to Blair, who the wind crystal, or the wind ring, he just kind of dropped in front of you, Blair. He'll come up next to you, show you exactly what to do, and kind of instruct you on how to smith it while infusing it with the element of air. First, infuse it with the element.
Okay. Instead of just using the Storm Whisker, can she empower the Storm Whisker further by doing Worm Breath Lightning?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Consume Worm Breath Lightning, and we'll give your Arcana roll a +10 modifier.
Hell yeah.
Torbad will, as you infuse the lightning into the ring, enough of the element is present to anchor it to the wind and storms. And Torbad will then show you, meticulously helping you, buffering it, perfecting it, making it perfectly symmetrical, how to smith the ring. Please roll a smithing check.
Okay, you said we can do physique?
We can do physique, yes.
Okay.
Ho ho ho! You did it! That was close. Alright, Blair successfully forges the wind ring. Stop saying crystal stuff. Wind ring, as it clangs next to the 3 others that were just completely successfully done. You'll see Tsukiyomi and the Primordials just kind of... Tsukiyomi and Wisp just kind of slowly shut their eyes as their primordial power is taken from them. You'll see Gaerun above observe the forging of the rings as his form just kind of fades away slowly. You'll see him struggle to stay present as he observes the rings being forged and his power being drained to continue to keep them malleable so that they can be perfected as perfectly symmetrical vessels to house the incantation. As they said, the Fabula Nova Crystals, the reason they were chosen to have the incantation is because they were perfect. The crystals themselves were perfect. And that's what these rings need to be. Moving on to light.
Nibble just cracks his neck.
Yeah. Nibble cracks his knuckles as Torbad approaches him and just kind of... Nibble's on the table, because that's where Torbad put him, on the table.
Oh, yeah. Which
and
is perfect.
He'll show you what he wants you to do to create the socketing, like the socket to house a crystal eventually, and then he'll show you how to perfectly symmetrically forge the ring, instructing that he needs light in order to anchor it first. So let's roll Sanctomancy if you want to infuse it with light.
So Nibble will put the Shield of Kutzal on the table and channel Hollow Ground through it.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see the energy built up in the shield, and then he'll transfer it through Excalibur. So Excalibur will be emitting the energy while the shield is creating the energy.
All right. Let's roll advantage. Definitely. Excalibur, the shield itself. Yeah, for sure. Let's roll advantage on your Sanctomancy. Oh! Woo!
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pure light forges a perfected ring of light. Tarbad barely needs to help as Nibble begins to smith it. All right, smithing roll, Nibble. Oh, Jesus, you're trying to give
My
everyone a heart
God,
attack.
my heart.
Trying to give everyone a goddamn heart attack.
Floated in
Nibble
the air
will
for a second.
forge it, and every single time Torbed comes in to try to help him, he'll just kind of shoo his hands away. Nibble will pick up the buffering machine, just... And as he kind of uses the buffering machine for a moment there, as it begins to spin, you'll see like it'll try to spin him. Like instead of he'll start to like spin on the table, and then he'll dig his claws into the ground or into the table itself, and just like actually buffer the ring itself and successfully forge the ring of light. Torbad will make his way over to Trevas, whom he settled the ring of darkness in front of.
With all the excitement and air flying around and all the light flying around, Trevas has been just staring at the ring without moving, without any emotion on his face. The fire, the wind from the fire is like making his face burn almost. He will consume a fully charged Wings of Night, which the first line of it is, use the darkness at your command. And for the first time, he will wrap his hands around the soul cleaver that's in his back. Will point it at the ring and will say, guide my hands, Father. And he will push Ubermancy into the ring.
All right.
Well, good thing I'm not inside her. I would be crying.
I don't like this music.
You'll feel strong hands just kind of help you, just kind of settle on your hands. And from the corner of your vision, you'll for a second think you see the massive overlooming shape of Spiritus as he aids you. Roll Umbromancy to infuse the ring with darkness.
Picture like a Goku
Yeah.
Gohan moment.
Exactly what I pictured too.
Torbad nods as magic is infused into the ring sufficiently enough for darkness to be anchored through it, and then he will show you how to forge it. Roll blacksmithing.
The hell?
Was it weird?
Yeah.
Thank God we have good modifiers. Jesus.
The last time such hubris was done in this room, the world nearly ended.
A shadow will flicker out of sight, out of the corner of all your eyes, as something just kind of flits across the room. And as Trevas goes to attempt to finish the dark crystal, you'll sense a pulse of energy just kind of make its way toward the crystal, crawling across the table. Or not the crystal, the ring.
The dark and the stars are my domain. You have no rights.
right. Before I do anything else, does anyone want to do anything?
Do I see him outside? Or is he inside?
Oh, he's inside. You can't see him. Out of the corner of your eye, you sense him, and then you kind of see the familiar shape of the Wraith. But as you turn to focus on him, it seems like he just flits out of your vision. It's actually very similar to something that has occurred before, I think you'll remember, with Pelennor.
Does the light of my staff reveal him?
I don't know, are you raising your staff?
Well, yes, I can raise my staff, but at all times, it's illuminating.
Yes, but at all times it's illuminating, but you still need to cast the light, though.
Okay. Casting the light.
Okay. Jeez, it's like, it's automatic, Steph, just do everything. No, it's not. Okay. You raise the staff and cast the light, and as you do so, Trevos, the shape that you believed was Spiritus's just kind of unveils and turns into the Wraith just hovering over you, behind you, staring at the ring of darkness. As the light hits him, he'll recoil for a moment, but he'll reach out one of his clawed hands, and a blast of astral energy, bright pink and pearlescent, will shoot towards the ring.
So, Trevas has the Soul Eater in his hands, right? This massive sword.
Yes.
I'm not gonna try to cut him in half. I'm gonna spin with the flat side of him, and I'm gonna fucking ping pong ball his ass towards the wall, away from my fucking moment of connection with my father.
Go ahead, athletics. Or nope, strength saving throw. Since it's an aggressive reactive action.
And you said there's a blast coming towards the ring?
Yeah,
Yes,
can I
the
react?
blast already emitted,
Yeah,
considering he
Nibble
has
will
Aeon
react.
Instinct. That said, let me just finish this. Trevos will turn as if instinctually and slam the flat part of the blade, right?
Yes.
In an attempt to push him back. And as you do so, the ring will pass through the Wraith, causing you to kind of take a few steps and stumble forward as the Wraith just kind of hovers there. And you pass through it, your attack going harmlessly through him.
The fragmented child. I felt a soul leave this place unto oblivion not 1 hour ago. And as I snatched it from the cosmos and imprisoned it forever, I thought of you. As helpless now as you were to protect your dear beloved Emperor. Such a shame.
The blast hurtles toward the ring. Nibble?
Yep. Nibble uses
You have quick
Passage
strike?
of Arms. He jumps in the way and then Passage of Arms to block it with the shield.
You have Passage of Arms charged?
Yep. Not anymore now.
It's
Make it a
considered
sound.
active. So he's not
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this
yeah.
on purpose, but I'm gonna do it just because I'm a good DM. Passage of Arms it technically has the priority of active mitigation. So technically it would happen before Zodiarc's Blast could reach it, even with Aeon Strike. So let's roll a strength saving throw with advantage.
Come on, Nibble.
Oh, since I'm in Paladin, I'm gonna use Paladin strength saving through. With advantage.
All right. You place yourself shield ahead, right, Nibble? Shield ahead, whole body, anchoring your claws into the table again. blast collides with you, and it is stronger than you could ever have imagined. The just pulse of energy released by this wraith, as it collides with your passage of arms, you sense its power, and you immediately sense the shield that you bring up shatter as it deflects the blast away from the ring. That said, the blast is successfully deflected. Okay, before I do anything else, does anyone want to do something while the blast has been deflected and the ring is now safe to be forged again?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I blast? Can I like unleash illumination just to like choke out as much, like just centered on him to like choke out as reveal as much as possible, but also snuff out any darkness on him.
Illumination. Yeah, sure. That wouldn't be a horrible thing to do. Okay, roll an illumination check. Just kind of brighten what Zavara is already doing. The room becomes incredibly bright. Jesus. Every single shadow in this room is eliminated, even the ones around the pillars. How does that work, Steph? Magic. Just radiation fills this chamber. Something that hasn't happened in this chamber in a long time, and radiation aligned to light. Between Zavara, the light from Zavara's staff, and then the light from Karos, no shadow in this place is safe, and you'll see the wraith just become translucent, almost fickle as the shadows leave this place. But he is still present. While Karos does this, does anyone want to do something?
Yeah. So, go ahead, Lemmy.
I mean, we're probably thinking of the same thing, but okay. Well, I'm gonna.
No, she says.
I'm gonna take aim with my bow that it specifically does have the celestial infusion. Infusion, and charge a massive light arrow and attempt to do what Blair did last time we saw him.
Is that what Blair's doing?
While he's doing that, because I'm assuming he's kind of being blinded from all the light that's being put out, right? Is he like kind of blinded?
Nope, he's not blinded. He's staring straight forward at the ring. Since his blast was deflected, this is in slow motion, right? Nibble's shield is shattering, like in mid-shatter. The Wraith's eyes are boring a hole into that ring as Nibble stands between him and it.
On the ring.
Yes.
Okay.
The Ring of Darkness, more specifically.
Yes. So Blair is going to jump into the air and will say, if it bleeds, it can die, and no amount of defense can withstand the dragon's fury. Bolg!
Oh, shit!
Yes.
Do you want me to make the sound?
I just want to say,
sound, Christ!
Is it? This one? There we go.
There you go.
I just want to say that's the third mythic fucking
Limit
break used in the last.
In the last few seconds, you're right.
This is ascendant. This is ascendant limit.
Okay. She'll jump up, having been used to throwing her fucking spear at this thing. She's like, I'll just hit him again in the same fucking spot. Roll an athletics check as you throw your spear at it.
Can I get advantage since I know where I'm aiming and I'm just not aiming willy-nilly?
You're like reacting. Yeah, sure. Why not? Advantage. Oh, wow. At Mach speed, the spear just kind of travels forward. As the bright light is cast upon the Wraith, the Wraith's vision just kind of fixates on the ring in the center of the room. The spear will collide with the Wraith again. This time, however, the Wraith's attention will turn, and he'll raise a hand to defend himself at the last second, deflecting your spear. But as he does so, the arm that was raised is clearly just kind of cut and damaged, and more of that white liquid will just kind of spew, although this time droplets. From the arm as the Wraith turns and faces Blair, its eyes just kind of like searing into her.
Blair will just narrow her eyes and just do like a like the open hand and then like bending into the fingers, like come on.
Like bring it.
Yeah.
Nibble wants to react with that. If you get.
No. You already did.
You already
stuff.
did your
You're
thing.
right.
Who hasn't done something?
Is it?
I-
Lumi was
described
doing
I don't know. Wait,
his
we got Steve. I
arrow.
think we still got
No.
Steve.
Lumi also.
Lumi
And
Lumi started
something.
before me. Yeah.
And that's yes, that arrow will be simultaneous with the okay.
cable.
That means
Yeah.
so. That means
As
I
he's
think that
looking at
deals
the
more damage.
spear. Yeah, as he's looking at the spear, he's gonna get arrow in the back of the head.
not in the back of the head. They're coming from the same general direction. Can you imagine? Lumi just kind of zips behind him like headshot. Campaign over.
If only.
No, it's a scene from Naruto. The arrow was shot directly underneath of the spears.
Oh my god. I know what you're talking about.
Oh no, the arrow was shot in the shadow of the
Nah.
spear.
Okay. Let's roll nope. It's a dexterity. With you, it would be a dexterity check.
Dexterity check. Okay. That's this.
What's the modifier on your saving throw since you're reacting to this?
Modifier is plus 19. Same thing.
Okay, so nothing. Okay. Unfortunately, not high enough. As he raises his hand to deflect the spear, he'll just kind of coincidentally, the pulse of magic he uses to defend himself will just kind of brush your arrow off, and the same damage will be done to him due to the spear. Droplets falling from his arm. Orpheus is the last person that has not acted.
Yeah, so I have two scenarios in my head. I just want to confirm with you something, Steph.
Mhm.
Is fighting fire with fire always a bad thing, or can it be a good thing sometimes?
It
fire
greatly depends on the situation. If you're fighting fire with the god of fire that controls all fire, that is probably a bad thing.
Okay, so in that case, I will not fight fire with fire. Instead, I will know the situation is dire, and I will focus on finishing the rings. Okay?
Oh.
To do that, I'm gonna smoke the ground so that Trevos has a chance to finish his channel and his blacksmithing on that, because that was interrupted, right?
Yeah.
So I'll throw smoke so that he's blinded and Trevos can finish the blacksmithing that he already started. At the same time, since I'm very fast, I'm gonna use Brand of the Iris on Torbad to know exactly what he's thinking and how he's crafting the rings and how he would tell me, because I know
Oh my god.
I know that he won't be able to follow me.
Like, how can anyone think? Like, look at that. That is such a good fucking idea. What the hell? All right. Hell, let's do this. Okay, so channel silence to infuse the ring with the cosmos.
No, I'm putting the celestial dust on it.
Oh no, you're right. You're not even channeling silence. That's even better, because then Zodiac won't even sense it. That said, okay, so celestial dust requires no roll. You're just kind of forging the celestial dust into the ring as you finish it, which means because you're using Brenda the Iris and listening for Torbad's thoughts on how to do everything as all this is happening, you can roll your smithing check. I'm assuming you're using physique?
Yeah.
With advantage.
Damn.
Since you're reading his mind.
I also have Aeon Instinct, so any attempt to find me in the smoke would be very tough for Zodiac. Just want to mention that.
Yes, I'm aware. Don't worry.
So you said advantage, right?
Yep. Trevos, you were one of the first people to react. So you'll get to react after this. Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
I wish I could push this button faster.
So I just disappear to everybody.
He's just a blur, like literally.
It just like so that sound you're hearing, think of it as like ding, ding. It just
Sounds like
just
one
like
noise. 'cause
yeah,
the
it's like
hits are so-
bring, bring. It just kind of does that over and over again, and then all of a sudden, boop, cosmic crystal done, blah, 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 and it's finished. As he does that, because he rolled so high, before Zodiark gets another action, Trevos, because of the smoke he threw down and the efficiency of which he did it, I'm gonna give you another free action before Zodiark can recover from Blair and Lumi's assault. Okay? /Karos/Zavara's assault.
Okay, So, as the smoke hits, Trevas spend months and months repairing armor and fixing very detailed Zuldarian, mail pieces, the rings on those chainmails. So he knows the sound of hammer hitting metal. And with the smoke in there, kind of understand what's going on. The Orpheus is forging the ring. And he sees that as, it's like, I am the only one that's incomplete. I'm the only one that hasn't finished this job. So as Zodiark is doing that, I'm gonna finish my ring. Since it was interrupted.
Okay. Smithing check, because you've already infused it. Let's give you... years of experience. Smithing check, right?
Yeah, I already rolled one that was 53, but rolling it again? Is that...
Oh no, you already rolled one.
Yeah, because... remember? I was already in my... like, he appeared right
As
after
you were
I...
trying to do it and it interrupted
Yeah, that's why
you.
I said...
It means that one was interrupted, you need to roll another one.
Okay. That's why I specified that he was already started on it, and then it got interrupted, right?
Yeah, that means you need to roll another one. Yeah.
But like I said, using my extensive community service hours that I had to...
oh my god. Alright, if you roll blacksmithing, we'll roll advantage. If it's physique, there's no advantage. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm rolling physique.
Oh, I got scared.
Nice.
He hovered on the one, man.
Alright. Once again, as all of this is happening, the final ring is forged, and Torbad will yell out.
We cannot finish the incantation with that thing here.
Torbad will etch a rune into the table and then slam his gun on it. Basically, he pulls out a pistol, slams his pistol onto the rune that he just enchanted onto the table. Then you guys will hear a distinctive loading sound as he aims his gun and starts firing at the Wraith. I have to roll reaction on the Wraith. In an attempt to avoid Torbad's onslaught, the Wraith will once again make itself what's the word?
Corporeal?
Corporeal?
Incorporeal. The blast just kind of passing through it harmlessly, but also giving the second person who reacted here, which is Zavara, another opportunity to do something.
So, it was discussed beforehand that the runes in his background are the runes that prepare somebody for ascension, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, bear with me for a sec. I'm gonna make an assumption, tell me if it's correct. When I constructed Eden, like the rough form of a circle would be, like the sort of trunk would be the conduit for the energy. And then the sort of branches would be like the things that are necessary for like perception of the being that's inside of the primordial to like maintain control and to exert control. And then the rune of ascension on the top. Is that correct?
I can't tell you if that's correct, because you don't know enough about that process.
Okay, so what Zavara's going to do is he's going to try to remember what he did with Eden, the rough structure, analogous to the runes in the background of the Wraith. And instead of trying to attack any of the like conduit aspects that are stronger, I want to see if I can target a rune that maybe looks like eyes or that would remind him of perception.
Roll perception yourself.
Okay.
This is not taking up your action. I just want to know if you can notice a rune like that.
As Lumi sees Zavara like attempting to think of something convoluted, he'll just kind of shout out, "Banish him from whence he came!"
The fucker's got exorcism. Use it.
I'm going to.
Scanning across the Lunarian runes from the little the moderate amount of Lunarian sigils, you don't see anything resembling vision or like sight or projection or anything like that.
Okay. In that case, since I'm already holding up my staff and it's filled with light, and my staff has a focusing aspect literally built into it, I'm going to sort of line up the focusing aspect like dead center of mass on the wraith, and I'm gonna fire the thinnest, most concentrated beam I can possibly make, center of mass on the wraith, while he's distracted by all of this other stuff.
I don't think you can replace Exorcism with
So-
Foresight, can you?
So you're firing an offensive blast at the wraith?
I am. It's what I'm
From your
trying
staff.
to do. So what I'm trying to do, because I think he has a very intense presence, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to exercise, but instead of trying to exercise his whole being at once, I'm trying to make damn sure that the power pierces into him. Does
Okay,
that
so
make
you're
sense?
assuming he's protected by something. So you're trying to focus whatever exorcism you're launching at it. Is that it?
Yes, because
You
he's
do
been
realize that makes him
deflecting-
harder to hit then. Right? If you're firing a thin beam at a moving wraith that has Aeon Strike, right? That means it's very difficult for you to hit him. Am I right?
I was trying to do it while he was distracted. But I can just.
Can I
fire.
channel Astromancy to help guide his beam?
Technically, you're still kind of in the middle of the whole smoke forging thing at this moment.
I'm so fast,
Is
I'm
Nibble
done by
ready
the
for
time
another
he even
action?
thinks of it.
Nibble's
By the time
close.
Zavara
Blair will
even thinks
probably
about
be
doing
next.
this, I'm done.
Oh no, wait, it would be Nibble next. Never mind.
And Nibble had the shield up.
All right. In that case, you know what? Fuck subtlety.
Well, Nibble can see what you're
Thanks.
doing, and he can help.
Just go full power. I mean, I'm gonna try and destabilize them further to assist you with domination. So
I'm literally gonna draw a circle with an exorcism beam that's the exact outline of the circle behind him.
Okay.
And I'm just going to fucking
Push him
send
through.
it.
Okay.
Zavara's not gonna do any wordy bullshit. He's just going to hold up the staff, and obviously all the shit breaks out, and he's just going to go, be gone, and just fucking.
Okay. Roll exorcism.
As Nibble
Damn.
sees
Oh, wow.
Zavara doing that, could he do something?
Nice.
I don't think it's gonna be necessary with a 71 on exorcism
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's a big
on a
roll.
creature that is projecting itself here. No. Zavara will raise his staff, and as his voice just kind of resonates across the chamber, and he yells out, "Be gone!" His exorcism will literally just kind of bathe the wraith in light and send this projection of Zodiark back across the cosmos to his faith tree, banishing him from the chamber.
He's gonna be pissed.
He's gonna
Jekyll,
be
Je-
pissed.
Jekyll knows of banishing Zodiark. He's gonna be pissed.
Torbad will take a breath for a minute as the wraith is just kind of banished from the chamber.
Ugh, I swear, retired doesn't mean shit.
Tell me about it.
The rings, they're still malleable. They're still malleable.
The rings
Warriors.
are finished, Torbad.
It doesn't matter. The structures are finished, but we still need to house the enchantments within the rings.
Yep.
Begin the incantation.
okay, me first, right?
Yes.
Alright.
From crystals cursed, this power flows to forge the rings where essence glows. By flame, by earth, by light, by sea, by wind, by dark, let purity be.
By the silence at the end of all things, for this we forge a seventh ring, its power bound till Zodiark's fall, his grip undone, his reign recalled.
Let each ring a seeker find, a heart of virtue, pure of mind. No hand unworthy may take hold, no grasp profane, no soul turned cold.
If bearer falls to death's embrace, the ring shall seek another's grace.
For unworthy hands will fill its mass, the weight of worlds too great to surpass.
Through threads unseen these rings are bound, to share the whispers of thought profound. Each bearer shall sense where others dwell, their voices carried by this spell. Yet no one soul may hold rings twain, no grasp may wield what is not its claim.
Bound in strength, this spell shall stay, unbroken, untouched, through night and day. Unless the seven as one decree, to speak the words and set them free.
By cost of 5 the Acreus give to us, their soul laid bare, their will we trust. By godhood given, the primordial's grace, their strength surrendered to take its place.
O power vast, eternal true, your sacred balance we renew. So mote it be, this vow is sworn, 7 crystal signets, pure reborn!
Alright. As each warrior of light utters the incantation, the power grows. The chamber fills with mist, with magic, with the 7 elements. And for a moment, those of you who were present at the time that you were once protected by her, you'll sense a flicker of Etros consciousness just kind of flitter across the room, as if she watches with pride as the incantation takes form. Every single element granted across the rift and across both worlds and any other celestial body within this section of the cosmos just kind of flickers with a brilliant light as energy flashes and culminates, the Acuria being consumed, and the primordials falling to their knees as their strength is drained from them. The energy will culminate within each and every vessel that was forged here into a gem adorning the ring. As the room becomes silent and the light fades from the resonating crystal and from the enormous amount of energy that was just summoned within this room, the spell strengthened by the sacrifice of the Acuria, the spell strengthened by the sacrifice of the primordials, the strength they so loved, the pride in the magic they created, the incantation powered by the voices of the warriors of light ringing out across the chamber in unison. Warriors that have fought tirelessly to be in this room at this very moment. The rings are crafted. First crafted, the Ring of Fire. The gem coalescing, and a hue of orange aura just kind of encircling the ring as it just kind of sits on the table innocently, as if this is not one of the most powerful things created in the history of both worlds. It just sits there. And beside it, as the energy culminates, the water crystal is forged in its
Ring.
socket. What?
Signet.
You said crystal, that's
Signet. Yeah, you said crystal.
Well, no, actually, I was right. I'm actually not wrong.
Oh.
The crystal housed in the center of the ring is formed. The ring was already there, is what I meant.
Ah, shit, I'm sorry. Kind of ruined the flow
It's okay,
here.
don't
Sorry.
worry about it. I've made the mistake like 50 times, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Next to the water crystal. Next, the earth crystal. Crystal coalescing into the socket of the ring, creating the earthen signet. lightning and wind crackle as the crystal etches itself into the wind signet. I'm revealing too many things at once. It's taking you guys longer and longer to load.
Yeah. For
Looks
me,
badass
it's like-
though.
Yeah, it looks.
Looks dope as shit. Yeah. I mean, they're all super pretty. Your AI generator has done its job well.
How dare you, sir, assume that? Crystal of light coalesces in the ring that changes its band to almost pure alabaster, representing holy. The crystal of violet culminates and inserts itself into the blackened material of the obsidian ring, obsidian colored ring. And finally, though it lay dull and gray, Torbad will place a vial as the incantation magic hovers over the cosmic ring, and you'll see him etch a rune into the air, the same rune you guys have seen to imprison. And as the energy fluctuates, it'll enter a vial, a crystal vial that Torbad has created, especially for this situation. And he just kind of lays it quietly next to the signet that will one day, hopefully, represent the cosmos. As the power just kind of fades from the room, quietness lingers in the air, Torbad will look to the left and to the right.
Did we do it?
Blair will just look at him and she'll be like,
Looks like
these
it.
are your plans?
Aren't they Wonder Ring
Magnificent.
powers activate?
A few seconds will pass by, and each and every one of the rings will pulse simultaneously and hover in the air above the table.
The energy so pure. As I feel ourselves dwindle, I, alone, with the others gone, bid the warriors farewell. The magic created today, pure. As it resonates, I feel, for the first time in millennia, sadness.
Gaerun flickers and hovers as the crystals surround him, and you'll see tendrils of the wraith just kind of fading as the crystals draw power from him, to kind of finish the last little bits of the incantation and write the etchings and markings on the rings themselves.
Are you there, warriors? Darkness is all I see.
We are here, Gaerun.
As he fades, can Blair do a dragoon salute to him?
Of course.
He probably doesn't care. But she'll do a salute in thanks of the sacrifice that he and his siblings have made. So the rings can be forged.
For one who doubted does so, you do me an honor, Dragoon.
she'll say, "Your deeds will not be forgotten, and it shall be written in the tomes that those who come after us for millennia will know the sacrifice that you and yours have made to keep our world safe."
This is all we ever wanted. We have watched with great interest and sustained ourselves through your many adventures. I sense the will of the rings in the darkness. Will you do me the honor, warriors, of announcing their first bearers based upon their will?
I will nod.
Let the
Still flickering form of Garoon hovers, and you'll see what looks like tears just kind of well at the eyes of the Acuria as it gazes upon the crystals with just pure awe.
the Orpheus will speak up as well. Let the threads of fate be woven by the Acuria one last time.
Such honor, I believe I would never feel. The beauty.
He'll turn his head, and the eyes, the pale yellow eyes of the Acuria, now flickering in and out of existence, will settle on the ring of flame.
The ring speaks to me. The ring of flame seeks a heart of courage, ablaze with unyielding determination, to ignite hope even in the darkest hour. Forevermore will the warrior encompass this.
As the ring hovers down and does not leave this chamber, and as it floats, it hovers in front of Trevos.
Nice.
And just kind of pulses quietly, signaling its final decision as Trevos is bathed in orange and red light.
Roas looks at it in awe.
You deserve it, buddy.
Let this light my way, so I can forever cleanse this universe of that being that haunted us so. And he will take the ring.
As you take the ring and place it on your finger, the summon materia in your arm will blaze, and you'll feel Ifrit's flame just kind of encircle and surround the ring, and you'll feel pride coming from Ifrit as you just kind of hold the ring and feel its power course through you for the first time.
I would not wish any other companion during this time, my friend.
Garoon will turn his attention to the ring adorned with the sapphire crystal representing water. Did I say ring? I said ring. Yes!
The ring of water calls to the empathetic. Those who perceive the currents, the turbulent currents of emotion, bringing solace and shelter where chaos would reign. The ring seeks a protector.
And the ring of water will hover down, again, not leaving this room, and will hover in front of Nibble.
Nibble had a feeling and just reaches out his paws, and you see they're a little shaky. And it just kind of remembers Famfrit and just like flashbacks of everything that he went through with the Order of Tides. and he's never felt prouder as he puts it on.
The ring chooses someone empathetic. As you equip the ring, you'll feel the currents of all of the waters of Nova, Crystalis, and the celestial bodies beyond. Being one with the waters of the world and feeling a calm serenity. Meanwhile, in the corner, Jekyll will calculate in the air.
That's strange. It seems your incantation has a flaw in it after all.
May the
Gaerun-
clouds never leave your skies. No.
Gaerun will
Congratulations.
turn his attention to the amber ring that hovers, representing Earth.
The Ring of Earth demands unshakable resolve. A steadfast protector who stands firm as the mountains against the tides of chaos.
The ring will hover for a moment as, again, it does not leave this room. And flies down slowly, stopping and hovering in front of Lumi.
Maybe I'll take a deep breath. May this new power protect those I love and avenge those I've lost. For you, Blaze. For all of them.
As you take the ring and put it on, you'll feel the mountains and the veins of the ores on both worlds. Every single last piece of dirt. Every single plant, every single fiend that walks the two planets. Wisp will get up, just kind of staggering to stand up on his own after his power has been drained from him, and he'll make his way to you, just kind of collapsing on top of you and just kind of hug you quietly.
He'll hold them firm. I love you. Wisp.
You would be proud.
As he hugs you, tendrils of energy will emerge from the ring, injecting themselves into Wisp and restoring his strength. As he stands on his own.
It seems it's you now that grants me the power.
You're my partner. Now and forever.
Gaerun will turn his attention to the emerald ring that hovers nearby, surrounded by clouds and lightning crackling between the ring and the mist that surrounds it.
The Ring of Air entrusts the agile, the free-spirited, those who embrace the winds of change and guide others toward unseen horizons. They are free as the sky. My power wins.
The ring will hover for a moment as if waiting for the Akuria to finish speaking, and then will fly down, again, not leaving the chamber, and will hover quietly in front of Blair.
Blair will be kind of astonished because she doesn't feel like she flows. She feels like she's very rigid in her beliefs, but she will solemnly bow her head and say, "For those who we've lost, for those who we may yet save." And she'll take the ring.
As you take the ring, you feel the power of the winds and lightning storms just kind of enter your body, and You feel it resonate with your discipline as a dragoon, as a Hell Knight, taking to the skies as often as you do. I don't, as a DM's note, Blair has often served as a guide to those who are lost, to the point where she even wanted to become a guide for future generations. Just as the wind guides sailors across the horizon, I think wind encompasses Blair more than any other element. Moving on. Gaerun turns his attention to the crystal... the ring...
You could have said Crystal Signet!
...of... light that just kind of hovers in the air, bathing the room in its cold glow.
The ring of light seeks the selfless, those who bear the burden to sacrifice, to walk the harsh path, choosing the greater good, even at great personal cost. Light is unyielding, and so must its warrior be unyielding.
The signet of light will hover for a moment before floating down once again to a person in this room. Hovering just in front of Karos's metal chassis.
Oh. I'll start to cry a little bit. I think I'm not worthy. And then I'll pick it up.
As you equip the Ring of Lights, you sense resolve. You sense unyielding faith. Though it may not be in a deity, it is in what must be done for the greater good to succeed.
I think he'll kind of like feel that in himself and be like, at any cost, you know.
At any cost.
It's all those there's no other way moments.
Very fitting for my soul.
Gaerun will turn, almost just wisps of smoke at this point.
The ring of darkness chooses the determined. Those unafraid to walk the shadow's path and face the unknown, to seize the power required to protect the weak and vanquish the unworthy.
The ring will fluctuate for a moment and hover down, stopping and hovering in front of Zavara. Everyone stunned silence element!
Oh no, I'm
The ring hovers in front of Zavara, beckoning to him.
Please don't tell me he's eight. Okay,
Really
sorry.
is beyond dumbstruck. Not just because of darkness, but because he was satisfied that he had performed like his part, and he was fully like ready to watch the rings go to everybody else and be content with his part in it. So he'll reach out and he'll grab the ring. And he'll say, I suppose a blinding light must cast the darkest of shadows.
It's all the murder
Oh, Jesus.
Neil's
Jesus.
losing it in this corner. Okay. As you equip the ring, you feel the shadows just kind of encompass you. The will to move forward, the will to seize what is required to vanquish and destroy Zodiark, removing his presence from your world forever. And last but not least, though it hovers not and sits upon the table, its kind of chassis absent a stone for now. Geirun will turn his attention to the ring.
Though it be but a whisper, the ring of the cosmos seeks the indomitable. Those who confront despair itself, who gaze headlong into the abyss, and with unyielding courage resist its call, forging hope where only silence would reign.
Geirun will use the last of his strength to lift the ring. The ring will very warily float to Orpheus and just kind of plop into his open palm as it reaches him. As Geirun fades from the room forever.
Seems that there is a flaw in the incantation, Jekyll.
I did not receive a ring!
I thought...
So it is treason! I knew I should have forged an 8th ring!
I thought my vigil would end after this last battle that lies before us.
Unfortunately, Orpheus, those of us who would refuse such a burden are the ones most worthy to carry it.
My soul craves silence, craves peace, but it seems that fate is cruel. Nevertheless, the choice was made, and the weak will have my strength, though I may never rest. And he'll close his palm on the ring.
All right. Before we open the room for a second, I want to say something. You guys hear my music, right?
Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
As the rings just kind of forge the connection that the incantation uttered, you'll sense the presence of the other ring bearers being able to communicate at will within their minds with very little effort. As you sense the connection with the others, you sense the ability to feel if they are harmed or in danger. And as the rings lend you their power, the ring of fire will pulse. As its power fills you, Trevos, you'll see every single battle with the Warriors of Light, where you summoned the strength to defeat your enemies, to go against your very nature, and to destroy and protect those who needed to be protected. Though you were an assassin that was taught to kill and born to kill from Amon, you resisted, and instead the fires of battle just kind of blazed within you, and you were able to forge companions along the way. And that is why you most closely represent fire. The ring of water, as it pulses, nibbles hands. I cannot name a character in this campaign who has placed the protection of others above himself. While water will encompass those who wish to give respite, to give aid, to soothe those who are burdened or hurt. That is why water chose you. Oh. The ring. The ring of earth constantly infallible. A source of strength and reliability, the likes of which I have never seen. A person who is always there to fill a spot, to help someone on their journey, to organize the parties that go forth, and to heal the wounds that they acquire along their journey. The earth, the ring, the element of earth encompasses that above all. That is reliability and selflessness, and that is why the Earth Ring chose you.
Sorry.
The Ring of Air. If I have ever met characters that stung like the wind. Miss Mess's characters have always... And by the way, that is something that I wanted to point out. I chose these elements not only based on the current character, but on what I believe is the spirit of the person behind them. And if I have ever met anyone who kind of rides the wind and just kind of cuts any of those who would spew nonsense, who has the resolve to just tear down even the most imposing enemies, it is definitely you, Blair, Star, Mimsy, just as untamable and unstoppable as the wind and the storm, and definitely deserves the element that chose you. The Ring of Light chooses someone who, though he is memed to oblivion, is not afraid to do the thing that needs to be done. There is nothing that encompasses the light more than the zealotry involved, the coldness that is needed, the resolve that is needed to just kind of burn through that part of you that goes, this is harsh, but it's what needs to be done. And I think that you and your characters encompass that more than anything. If there's anyone that has ever taken charge and said, all right, I'm fixing this fucking situation, I don't care who has to die, it's definitely you, Neil. So you deserve the Ring of Light.
There's no other way.
There's no other way.
We have to kill him.
He's 100%.
He lost his sword.
He lost it. All he did was drop his sword.
Do not take the Ring of Darkness choosing you as shade, ironically, because it is darkness. Consistently being a person who creates characters that seek out strength. For varying reasons. Not necessarily sometimes from greed, but also to have the strength to destroy these ridiculous fucking encounters. I don't think I've met anyone who is willing to min-max, who is willing to attempt to kind of perfect his power, whatever it may be at the time, in an attempt to be strong enough to fulfill his role, and in order to defeat the asshats that I put in front of him. You barring, the 6 months where you had your little... You have been very consistent, and you have invested a lot in my campaigns, Easter, and I appreciate that a lot. So, Ring of Darkness chose well. We can realign your spells if you want, by the way. And this goes for anyone here who was chosen by an element that their spells do not encompass. I will turn Trevos into a Flame Knight.
Hellfire Knight?
Hellfire Knight. I will turn the Pyromancer into a Sanctomancer. I will turn the Priest into a Shadow Priest.
A Hydra Knight.
Hydro Knight. So those of you who have physical disciplines like the Dragoon and the Knight, that doesn't necessarily need to happen. So, just saying.
I picture like daggers that look like stars and the cosmos.
No, now Lumi, instead of firing arrows, he just throws rocks at people to heal them.
Like Toph?
Yeah, exactly.
And finally,
rub some dirt in it. It'll be fine.
the Cosmic Ring chose someone who, in the darkest, most fucking hopeless, fucking we've lost and we're going to die moments, still kind of finds the voice to speak up and go, but Steph. A person who has literally looked in the face of some of my most terrifying villains and just kind of pointed at them and went, hey! Fuck you. And I think no one encompasses that aspect of even in the darkest times, there is always an argument to be made and there is always a way out of a situation. Especially if you don't lay down your sword, if you don't lay down your staff, your blades, and you just keep pushing forward. And I think Steve deserves the Cosmic Crystal for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
There are those who were not chosen. They have their own traits and amazing qualities that I love. You guys have heard me talk about Thunder and Rick and the others that were not chosen. Every single one of my players I deeply respect because of the way they've developed. Sadly, there were only 7 rings, and I chose the ones that most encompassed the current character's personality more than the elements you guys love to surround yourselves with because you like to fucking, delulu yourselves. I chose based on personality, and I think that I chose pretty good. So, if I had other elements, I would definitely assign them because a lot of positivity can be said about Rick's fucking amazing role-playing, the devil-may-care attitude, and the ability to just kind of close it instantly and become serious and do what needs to be done on a fucking coin flip. Like, he just does it on a dime, just boom. And that's amazing. I did not think at the beginning of this that Rick would become one of my best role players. It is insane to see him go sometimes. And Thunder, to be honest, it was a toss-up between Thunder and Savande for the Earth Ring. We're talking reliability. We're talking someone who's willing to support anyone in any action they do, who's willing to be backstabbed over and over and over again by the Ring of Darkness. Please leave him alone. It is definitely Thunder. He is the good friend that everyone wishes they had on their journey through the Valley of Shadow. Everyone wants a Thunder by their side. When you're going into the darkest depths of wherever you're going. Or a Savande, or a Thunder. Basically, the reliability thing just kind of tags onto Thunder because he is literally... That's all the traits that I said about Savande, Thunder encompasses as well. So yeah, you're all amazing players and a DM couldn't ask for more. Did I forget someone?
No, 9 of us.
No, that's good.
Good.
I wouldn't mind hearing mine again.
I want to tell you what, we could get it.
A DM couldn't ask for better players. Apparently, I'm getting a few new ones though, which I'm happy for.
If you show up next week, Nibble, you can hear it again. So you gotta keep showing up to hear it again.
I'll be there.
With that, this day would forever be marked in the histories of Fabula Nova Crystals as the day the crystals were destroyed and the Crystal Wardens were born. Send me your votes for MVP.
I just want to say, excellent session, guys. But I just want to say, Brandon, you fucking nailed it with that screenshot. I had to mute myself because it made me laugh. Just Jekyll cackling in the corner.
Oh, look at general chat stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's why I said, why did you put an 8th ring?
God, how do I pick
Oh my god, we did it! That ring is so good! Oh, I love how Miss Mess is like, Darian concerned. Love it.
God.
Jekyll trying to sneak out of the room. He's
Send me
trying to
votes.
sneak out of the room.
For MVP, you all did well. I'm gonna be giving you guys bonuses, and I have fucking 7 fucking accessories to import. So this is gonna be fun.
Well, 6 for now. The other ones.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah,
import
but-
all 7. There's no point in not doing all 7.
Thank you for finally fucking just doing the just not complicated push him out thing, Zavara.
Yeah.
I was so worried there for a second.
He started talking about the rune and like
Okay,
intricacies.
So hard for yourself.
How many people? I didn't want to. I was letting him do his thing. I didn't mind, but like you were kind of. There were a few things that were like, no, there's no real rune for that. There's no mechanic like that, and there was like, okay, and then I was like I like the laser like beam would work on something that was either like stationary or not moving as fast as this fucking thing moves. But in my head, I was kind of like, you're an exorcist, fucking exercise. The power of Christ compels you. Just fucking leave this place, demon.
Just fucking do the thing. Like, yeah. Like,
I have a question before we end.
Yes, what's up?
Can Blair go over to Tsukiyomi and give her something?
Of course.
Okay, so Blair will walk over to Tsukiyomi and open her bag and kind of rifle through it and have something clutched in her hand, and she will hold it out to Tsukiyomi and she will say, I am the warden that guards Valhalla, though I did wish to find others. Not only do these rings suffice, but, and she'll take a look at Orpheus, and she'll also think about what had happened in the throne room with Cain, and she'll say, I do not think it is fair for me to take one's freedom and have this weight thrust upon them. You lost someone dear to you, and though this isn't the fullness of her, I hope this will help guide you and your sister. And she'll give Tsukiyomi the pearlescent crystal.
As you hand the crystal to Tsukiyomi, she will stare at it with shimmering eyes.
Though I feel the weight lifted, I had forgotten what it felt to not be burdened with such power.
Her eyes will just kind of flicker to the ring you now wear, as you feel the same burden that Tsukiyomi felt only moments ago.
I am glad you were chosen, child, and I accept your gift. But I may give it to my sister, and she finally be able to mourn.
Tsukiyomi will move forward and just kind of lean against you in a hug.
Blair will embrace her.
Though my faith wavered, I believe that you and your companions have the strength to do what must be done. As you go forth, remember what I said. Do you remember?
That we cannot save everyone.
She'll nod.
Blair will say, "We have learned this the hard way, which is why we had to forge these crystals. I just ask that you give me guidance as to making the right decisions, because I do want to save as many as I can, but guide me, lead me when the choices are needed to leave, to give those the sacrifice that must be made, that we do not fear their death, that they go on to their next adventure."
In case you guys want me to say it, the curse is gone, and the elements are protected once again.
Nice.
I have one last question. I didn't want to do it during the middle of the RP.
Hmm?
Did my perjury trigger when the Wraith was talking to me
Yes.
about snatching a soul?
Yep.
Okay,
Your perjury triggered and flared as soon as he said it.
figured. Bastard trying to run. That's why I. because
It's like, bastard, fucking douchebag.
He's just messing with people.
Yep.
Logically, there would have been nothing for him to grab because Tsukiyomi
Right.
unwove the
Yeah,
soul.
but you still had that in your head, like, did he take him,
Yeah,
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yep.
sure thought.
Yep, that's what he wanted, the doubt.
Oh, can Nibble say something to Torbeb?
My god, people. This is why I don't do
Sorry.
8 people sessions anymore.
I'm sorry. Do you want me
It's
to
okay.
put the pearlescent crystal in the party sheet?
No, you can delete it because I have it in my notes.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to give you something in return from Tsukiyomi, actually. 1 second. That I forgot to roll.
A second accessory. Now you gotta pick.
No.
I have a
What?
feeling we can't take these off.
A ninth ring.
Probably like a free equip accessory type thing.
We need.
Chuckle's like, yes, now I have it.
So who's left as a primordial? Ophiuchus.
Jekyll,
The primordials are all gone, Neil.
All of them? Even
All of them except Zodiark.
Okay,
So-
Eldrasky is
no.
depowered.
Eldraskir's
This
not
is-
depowered.
This
His
is
primordial ascension was done via Istarian magic. None of that was present here. He was not part of the primordials of this area. When I said
Isn't this
primordial,
also before though? Like,
this was also before. Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
technically that, but it doesn't matter because even if it had happened after, I said primordial level with Eldraskir. He's not a primordial per se. He's just primordial level at this point.
Okay. And then was
So-
Apollo trained by this? Or?
Apollo doesn't hail from this world and so would not have been targeted by the magic. Again, Apollo is a primordial level entity.
Got it.
so the people that are sired by primordials who their magic went down, because of the way we did this, they get to keep them, right?
So
they just lose
you're-
their channel. We talked about this on the session. I'm sorry, Steph. I know you're gonna answer. I'll let you. My bad.
it's okay. Ditto what he said. Basically, you have the same power with your primordial. The only difference. I need to stop. There you go. The only difference is you will not have the channel ability from your primordial anymore, with the exception of Apollo and Eldraskir.
Okay, so I disable all my channels except for silence.
Except for silence.
I need it.
Got it.
Every single one of you that has an active ring gains channel that element.
Ooh. Just for Neil, channel light, Neil. Okay? Not channel that element. Don't type that in.
Okay.
Channel that element.
Is there a modifier?
He's gonna roll his die one day and it's gonna say that element.
What's the modifier?
I'm kidding, Neil.
It's an advanced skill that requires concentration, so it has the same modifier as pyromancy, basically.
So +5 then?
Yes.
Yes, +5. The only difference is when you channel that power, think of it as channeling a Fabula Nova Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is like the Mancy equivalent. Let's multiply it by 10.
Multiply
And
by 10?
can easily damage your body if you don't use it correctly. When I import the accessories, I'll give you guys the rules for it. Basically, whenever you make a roll, you have to tell me a percentage that you're channeling.
The crystals, yeah.
Also,
The only difference is the Lunarian steel rings that were created are protected by the incantation. They can only be destroyed. These things, okay, are like fucking the one ring level of indestructible because of your incantation. The only way to make them brittle and destroyable is if all 7 of you incant that their enchantment is gone at once.
Yeah.
And
so,
they're made of Lunarian steel, which has a higher energy storing potential than the crystals had, which means you can channel 100% of this easily without destroying the ring. The question is, will it destroy you? Because the ring.
So I was gonna say, if you channel 100% and you kill yourself, it's just gonna float away and go pick somebody else.
The ring will pick someone else. Exactly. So if you channel 100%, the ring is not protecting you guys.
Mm.
You're still the same people. You're just chosen by these rings as their wardens, their guardians. So you have to be careful. But that said, it's extremely powerful. So you guys are going to get extremely powerful accessories. And by the way, you have no choice but to wear them if you want the element to be protected.
Can they go beyond 100%?
Yes, they can.
But beyond Ultra over here?
If you want to kill yourself for one last Hail Mary.
Keep in mind, Neil, if you do that, you can hurt people around you, not just you.
And probably hurt.
If you channel 1,000% of the light ring, you'll create a supernova that just cleanses everything. And you still might not kill Zodiark because your body would destroy itself before you even channeled the full power.
You would kill me because I'm dark ancestry.
Run, sister. Run as fast.
Use the wind. Run.
I'm going supernova.
God, the day that Neil says, fly, you fools. That's when we need to fucking book it, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to make the greater sacrifice.
Ah, there it is.
Gosh, shame.
She's like, God damn it.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I wanted to say, because when the ring picked Nibble, okay, very, 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 very good pick. But I thought of the moment in the Avengers where Thor's hammer's on the table and Captain America goes to pick it up. So I pictured like Nibble putting the ring down, knowing that it's like the weight of the worlds, and Jekyll going to move it and it actually moving. And then Nibble's eyes just like widen.
Yeah, that would technically happen. He wouldn't be able to move it completely, but it would like kind of like shift, you know? So yeah, for sure. I like that. I hope no one's disappointed. Easter, I hope you're not disappointed. You were the one I feared the most giving the ring to. You haven't really said much.
I'm not upset.
Okay, good.
It made sense because it's basically like I was like, okay, so I'm Neil, but instead of apathetic, I'm passionate. I was like, that
Yeah.
actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So,
Trust me, my logic is not from what anything you guys have ever said. That's what I want everyone to know here. I don't give a fuck what you say. What I chose these like bearers, I went with your actions. You know what I mean? Versus your words. So Miss Mess believes that she's like resolute and doesn't really encompass the wind. I wholeheartedly disagree. Based on the things that she's accomplished in my campaigns. You know what I mean? So I think
you blindsided me with 5 of these rings. The ones that just pure elemental basis, like not because all the descriptions you gave make 100% complete sense. But the 2 that resonate with the character in terms of elements is the cosmos and the water, right? The others all were like blindsided the way that you shifted them around, and it just makes really good sense. So it was a cool twist. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like it.
I was happy that Nibble got the water because then he can remember like Famfrit and everything.
I didn't know how much I needed to
Lucian.
see that until I saw it.
That's why Nibble was great.
Yeah. Brandon always plays the characters that are like the knights from stories of old, you know?
So,
When he
just want
doesn't
everybody
ditch
to
us.
know,
Wow.
because you guys know Orpheus is kind of just wants to fucking die. Okay, he wants the worlds to be at peace, and he just wants to fucking die. But he can't die of natural causes. So now he has this ring, and the only way he gets rid of this curse is if somebody fucking kills him. So this poor guy, man, he's just stuck in this world now.
I mean,
Yeah, but he's stuck with us.
We could put you to rest if you really wanted to. Like,
Or you could just fucking, use 100% of the cosmic power. And you'll be dead, all right. You might be fucked too, but
cosmic nuke and then shove Zodiac into another dimension.
You guys want a singularity? Because that's how you get a singularity.
Yeah, push his ass.
Just jump on Zodiac and channel channel all of it, create a
This is
singularity.
not an automatic destroy Zodiac for the people who want to sacrifice themselves.
No, when he's weak, when he's like heavy, like fucking
dissolve before if Neil says, "Steph, I want to channel a bajillion % of the light crystal," and it's like
we're not actually gonna do this. We're just talking. Yeah, we're just talking
Also,
as a joke.
keep in mind that when the ring has not chosen a bearer, the element is vulnerable. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Well, with the incantation, it should immediately seek one out, so it should be vulnerable. Very, like not a long time. That's what I mean.
What if there's no one currently alive that's worthy?
Oof. Things.
On 2 planets, what are the odds?
That's not gonna happen.
It's also not limited to 2 planets, technically.
Well, it's our section of the cosmos, right? That's what Steph
exactly.
explained.
Yep. All the celestial bodies in Fabula Nova Crystals. That's the name of the galaxy here.
Yeah. So there could be planets we're not aware of, right?
Bro, if our rings fuck off to other planets, like that would be horrible for Crystalis. Like,
I mean, it's to be
No, because the
protected.
balance would still be there.
Kind of.
And if there's ring bearers on Crystalis and on a random other planet, they can communicate, right?
True. Actually, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Where the rings make the way to.
It's actually really
Kingdom
good.
Hearts campaign.
Like it's like
They won't.
I see a good future.
Kingdom
I
Hearts
see a
is
good
in
future.
another reality.
Yeah, randomly Steph will pop up like a ring bearer, and then we'll be like, "Oh my god, who died?"
Well, yeah, we just create a singularity and then open basically an alternate dimension of Kingdom Hearts campaign.
Nibble, didn't you want to say something?
I don't know if we want Zodiac to be in Kingdom Hearts.
Fuck no.
Bunch of level 1s.
Let's throw him to Astaria or something.
Why don't we just kill him? Fuck.
Isn't that how we get the cosmic the cosmic ring?
That doesn't
to
sound very
power?
Earth Ring of you.
Yeah.
I'm pointing out that the light ring isn't saying it.
You're sounding a little like light ring right now.
The ring starts moving off his finger.
Okay.
Hey, Lumi, your ring is starting to move slowly off your finger. With what you said.
The ring's kind of thinking. It's like
It's hesitating. Yeah, exactly.
I'm still resolute. I'm just resolute in killing him.
sounding a little light rig there.
Oh my gosh.
Let's put him down.
And there it
It's
is.
the only way.
There it is.
Let's seal him into a gate and forever close the key, preserving his life.
Nibble, weren't you trying to talk to Torbad?
Oh yeah, Steph, can I talk to him about it?
My God.
Oh my god, 20 years later.
Yes. It'll be kind of quick snap. It's mostly just to plan something.
Maybe real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
I haven't eaten and I'm exhausted.
Same.
Go. Why? Hey, Brendan, why don't you just message him that, and then he can go eat, and then we will act like it happened today.
Oh yeah, it's not like a whole RP thing. So basically, Nibble just wants to get with Torbad to basically use this room, since it's basically a massive blacksmith room, to help get Torbad to help him find a curse, and then create his armor in this room.
This is Tsukiyomi's. We are on the moon. We are not at
I know.
Torbad's area.
Yeah, but Torbad can help me create it.
You should also consider
Armor?
remaking
Oh
your-
shit, you lost your shield.
I was about to say, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Wait,
Can I say
shield
something
shattered?
to Torbad?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say something to Torbad too, please.
Probably
Steph.
Ain't no
Okay.
way.
Steph.
I'm gonna go eat dinner. If Steph kills you all, I'll still be alive.
I'm just gonna
Wait, Orpheus
Oh,
will shake
you didn't realize it
Torbad's
was your
hand.
shield that broke?
No, I thought we just said shield.
This is
like
a
said it.
direct blast from
Zodiac.
Zodiark that you managed to deflect. It would have killed a normal person.
Oh.
You saved the
Zodiac.
Dark Ring. Easter,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
fucked someone over again.
God damn it, Easter.
I'm just kidding. Easter,
Easter, you should have shown. Easter, you should have shown more light, man.
I'm so 5-head at this point that I can ruin things prematurely. That's how good I am. Okay.
I'm so
Clearly,
proud
I-
of you. Oh.
yeah, your shield shattered. You have to unequip it for now, and you can probably reforge it, but you'd have to ask someone with smithing or do it yourself to see what you would need to reforge it.
Yeah, in that case, that's what I'm talking to Torbad about.
Yeah.
And we'll try to do it. We're gonna do it in this room.
Okay, sure. We'll reforge
Wasn't
it.
there a?
Just pulls out
I
his
don't know
hand.
if it was a husk. Is it just a prism, like the what the light crystal
That's true.
was?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, who wants the prism? Who wants the light crystal empty vessel?
What does that do? Yeah, what does that do? Like,
It's just a perfectly forged crystal that can house a soul or energy. It can house energy in it, because don't forget, the crystals used to channel a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it for now.
Oh yeah, and I'll
Okay.
pick up the vial that he
Lumi's,
put
though.
on the table. Stuff.
Technically, it is Lumi's, because it was the light crystal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So as long as
what's the
Savannah
vial
says
that was
yes,
on
you
the
can
table?
take it.
What do
you
you
know,
want
I
it
can use
for?
it to try to
you
reform
know
my
what?
shield.
You know what would be interesting, Easter, is like if we were to confront Ophiuchus and you purged him of all of his cosmic energy, you could store that cosmic energy into that crystal.
That's pretty much exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, and then we could
Alright.
use that to make it easier to construct the
What?
ring.
So you let him take it?
Yeah, let him take it.
Okay.
Steph, what do I call the vial that he placed on the table for the cosmic crystal once it's time?
The Fabula Nova enchantment.
Can Blair
Shit.
point to the little droplets of milky blood to Torbad? So she can't be like, I don't know what to do with this, but it should be probably cleaned up.
More samples.
You know what'd be interesting? I wonder if we could.
He's
like,
already on his hands and knees, Blair, just kind of scooping it up.
I wonder if we could use.
I'm
this
also
blood-
picking up the rest of the tears of Calypso, Steph. I'll write that it's half empty. Okay.
Okay, you can take the vial. I'll remove it from
I
Torbad.
wonder
Yes, Neil.
if we could use this blood to make like maybe like some kind of virus that we could inject into the tree or something.
Xenophos this shit?
Yeah, Xenophos this shit. Like maybe like we can attune it to light so that it like attacks its cells or something.
That's definitely something you could research. You can also use blood in incantations.
There you go. Yeah, that's huge.
You could probably do the opposite too, since he's compelled to kind of like pull darkness into himself. If you seeded darkness somehow with harmful energy, then he would take it into himself willingly.
You know what? I'm not even gonna make it a choice. Because you guys are wearing those rings, your jobs will be realigned. Those of you who can be. Those of you who are neutral because you have a job like a physical discipline.
Wind Dragoon.
Again, the ring will like offer stuff for people who have physical disciplines, but the ring will also, I'm going to write it in the ring that any job that is elementally aligned will be forced to be realigned to the element of the ring. So, yeah, Hellfire Knight, I like the name, etc.
Should I start?
Wind
should I
Knight.
just change
I'm
my
still
stuff to
technically
the,
Lotus Mage.
What happens to people with
No,
weapons like Easter with the light staff? What would happen?
It can stay light. He can realign it if he wants it to like more encompass his character. He can reforge and realign it using like very little resources. So
Night Staff.
Okay.
Night Staff, yeah, there you go.
I don't mind it staying as an illumination staff, so I'm perfectly okay with it.
I will look at all that. Lotus Mage, the only thing that would change is instead of holy damage, you would deal earth damage.
Yeah.
But most of your spells already encompass the like earth kind of thing, so there's no reason to change them except to change their element.
Mhm.
I will change the Dark Knight's elemental stuff to like more fire aligned stuff. I will change. Thankfully, the White Mage doesn't need to be changed, but I will change his. I will change your Pyromancer to a Sanctomancer.
Isn't it just Dira, and then Diaga?
Yes, actually.
I'll just change it right now.
Well, no. You don't need to. Let me look at everything first before you change anything.
Okay.
Because
And
your
then
shards would change too.
What?
Yeah,
Because it
maybe-
wouldn't be
Blaze
anymore.
shards would turn into, I don't know.
Radiant shards.
Ah, nice. Radiant shards. I like that. Yeah, just a few name changes here and there. We should be okay.
Instead of Scorch, it would be like Spite.
I kind of wanted to blindside people, but I also think that these elements I chose them well. So.
Yeah, you did.
I was pretty
you
happy.
did.
I was happy when Trevos got fire. I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good for
It was
him.
poetic. Trevos getting
You
fire.
could hear everyone's jaw drop when the dark ring went to Zavara.
Yeah, everyone was just. It was just like stunned silence. It was hilarious. I love it.
I'm like, that's funny. We always knew he was a dark priest this whole time.
We have to kill him.
We gotta kill him.
Nibble.
Yeah.
Write this down.
Get a sticky note. And ready.
You can
3 holy essence, 3 orichalcum. And you can fix the shield.
You know, there's a notes section in Fantasy Grounds.
That there is. That there is.
True, yeah. True.
It should not be too difficult for Nibble to find 3 orichalcum and 3 holy essence.
Yep. So that's what my standby rules are.
Do you have them?
I have orichalcum. I don't have
The essences.
actually how many holy essence? I have a bunch of essence.
I could
I can
probably convert them to holy.
I'd be surprised if you couldn't.
Yeah.
You want to hear something interesting?
What?
I'll say
So
that.
light of you.
Interesting.
Yes.
So Steph said that Blair is wind because she's always wanting to guide and everything. Before these crystals, I think I had told Daypala or Thunder, before these rings were decided upon and that they would choose and everything for new warriors and whatnot, Blair was going to give up trying to be Etro because of hearing Orpheus constantly. I didn't choose this. I didn't want this. I want to just rest. And then seeing Cain in the throne room saying the exact same things. So she was actually going to give up doing Etro stuff. And instead, she was going to take on the mantle of Warden and she would just guide the whatever warriors or saviors of the jewels came to a call, and she would help guide them and train them in Valhalla.
Ah.
That's
Oh,
that's
wow.
really cool.
I totally knew
Because-
that. Totally knew that.
Because if you think about it, if there is another chosen, they will be inexperienced. They might even be young. They might, and Blair can seek them out and guide them so that they're ready faster. That's a really cool thing.
As
I like
a Korean, she'll live longer than most of you, too.
Are Greens
As long
biologically
as
immortal?
I don't
Yep.
die.
Koreans are biologically immortal because they're dragons. So technically, Blair and Karos could become like the headmasters of this school
Oh.
for like the chosen.
Hold on, Orpheus can't die either.
Yes, Orpheus as well.
I think we would.
Orpheus
Zavaros
wants to
Guado,
die.
he can die. Trevos is Elizin, he can die. Nibble is Burmesian, he can die, and Burmesians don't live very long either, so.
Get some gray whiskers there.
Jekyll
bud.
may yet see the day.
Oh my god.
He has a calendar and he's putting
I don't
X's
know
on it.
which one of you saw Deadpool and Wolverine, but I'm picturing fucking Deadpool trying to get rid of Nice Pool, just like, patience, my child. I will deal with him.
Sing it out loud with me. You're gonna make it.
You're gonna make it! Look, a donut stand! They're practically hospitals!
When does your regeneration kick in?
Regeneration? Oh, he died a hero. He died for murder, you fuck! Who else am I missing? Elizin, Nibble,
Hrothgar.
Hrothgar. You're mortal as well, so you'll die. So only 3 of the current ring bearers will live a very long time, assuming they don't die in some conflict. And then the others will die to age, and the rings will choose new bearers. So it makes sense that Blair and Karos would like guide them. Mostly Blair, probably yelling at her brother to help.
Yelling at
Probably be in
him
charge of
to
just
not
making-
abuse.
He'll be making shit, and she'll be.
And then Orpheus keeping silent, broody vigil, over the world.
She's
Batman.
yelling at him to not abuse the new warriors. He's like, it has to be done. It has
to be done. We have no choice. They must feel pain.
They must die.
And they're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Why is this guy so intense?
But yeah, I when you were talking about a guide, I thought it was interesting. Not ironic, I guess, but like
Coincidental.
coincidence. Yeah, coincidental how he was gonna give that up anyways, and then just guide set of heroes.
Great job, everybody. And y'all were concerned about not doing the incantation, right?
Blair just looks at heroes. How are you gonna get to them? How are you gonna get to the new ones when they're called? Can't fly.
Ooh.
I'll design a jetpack.
I mean, I'm sure Torbeck could, like, make you a collapsible jetpack in your fucking metal chassis.
I can like build it myself.
Or that.
Yeah.
I'll race you.
Go.
I'll race you with Nidhogg. I just
That's
That's not
I
fair.
I called a Nidhogg. Why not?
Not your speed.
He's the fastest fucking thing on the planet. Unless I'm using the chariot, then maybe I can jet race you.
You gotta use what you got at hand.
I'll fix the chariot and we'll race and see you.
On that note, let's end this.